Good evening, I'm Taylor Thomas with a CTV News update. A new damning report is released regarding actions by former State Environmental Service Director Roy McGrath. Patricia Vallone is standing by with the details.
That's right. A joint committee in the General Assembly released a scathing report on Roy McGrath's conduct while overseeing the Maryland Environmental Service. The report found McGrath abused his position as director by hiring close associates and spent nearly 10 times his predecessor's personal expenditures, including lavish trips charged to MES. McGrath also gave himself a hefty severance package when he left the office. That led to oversight hearings, and eventually the General Assembly passed Chapter 72, which implemented strict compensation protocols and accountability measures. Now, the Maryland U.S. Attorney indicted McGrath on 6 counts last October, and the state prosecutor's office has a 27-count criminal information filed in Anne Arundel Circuit Court. For CTV News, I'm Patricia Vallone.
McGrath left the Maryland Environmental Service after taking a position as Governor Hogan's chief of staff. He resigned shortly after following criticism over his severance package. The report is also urging the Environmental Service to take civil action against McGrath. The Maryland Department of Health has made a correction to its COVID dashboard. Yesterday, the state indicated more than 1,800 people in Maryland were hospitalized with COVID. It turns out that number was wrong, but it has been corrected. The number of hospitalizations stands at 419. The positivity rate in Prince George's continues to be an issue of concern. It has risen to 10%. 2 Marylanders have died from COVID over the past 24 hours. In the wake of the violent, racially motivated shooting in Buffalo, New York, Maryland Congressman Steny Hoyer spoke on the House floor in favor of H.R. 350, the Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act. Hoyer said the time is now for lawmakers to take action to ensure that people with extremist ideology are not allowed to work for the government, in the military, or hold a public office.
Hopefully this bipartisan legislation will do that, and will also equip law enforcement with the tools needed to identify and stop domestic terrorists. The head of the FBI says that our greatest danger in America today is domestic terrorism. The head of the FBI, including white supremacists, neo-Nazis, and other racially motivated extremists, and to do so proactively. So everybody on this floor knows I condemn unequivocally, of whatever ideological bent there is, people using violence to promote their political ideas, left or right. This legislation also commissions numerous reports on the rising threat to domestic extremism that will help guide future policymaking on this issue.
Hoyer told lawmakers by voting yes for H.R. 350, they would be saving lives and protecting democracy. In an effort to address the national baby formula shortage, the president takes a new step in invoking the Defense Production Act. The action will require suppliers to prioritize orders from formula manufacturers. The Biden administration will also use commercial flights to get baby formula from overseas to the U.S. Meantime, the Maryland Department of Health reminds parents to never dilute formula with water. Health officials also say you should not feed your child homemade formula. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Coming up, a conversation with County Council candidate Denise Smith. Stay with us.
I expected it to be a lot easier.
I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I didn't know what step to take next.
I was transitioning from the military.
I was a vehicle gunner.
An avionics specialist.
I was an MP, military police.
My friends thought I could do anything.
I missed my unit, my family.
Playing with my daughter, I felt like a stranger.
I was overwhelmed.
I couldn't sleep.
I just wanted to be by myself.
I didn't have a clear sense of what to do next.
I was too proud. And then I thought, if I'm going through this, other veterans have gone through it too, right?
I started to open up.
And it made a huge difference.
So I reached out, and I saw that I wasn't alone.
Because before I was able to take on my next mission, I had to take on just taking care of myself.
To find
Purpose.
We are not alone.
Other veterans have transitioned from the military and overcome mental health challenges. Visit maketheconnection.net.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school.
Jessica has been through a lot in her life from early childhood.
My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She came in looking to complete her diploma. She had a family she had to take care of. Anytime she needed help, we provided her help. She realized that we were here for her.
She wants to have a career so her kids could look up to her.
My graduation, it was something I will never forget. I couldn't explain the emotion I was feeling because people like you and me sometimes may have doubts in ourselves, but I feel that everything's possible.
Jessica's future is brighter than ever.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back. Building Better Together, that's the campaign slogan for Denise Smith. Smith is one of 5 women who are running to represent District 6 on the County Council. Smith, who began her campaign more than a year ago, was born and raised in Prince George's and went to Suitland High School and then Howard University. She says her top issues are small businesses, education, and public safety. And Smith says she wants to build upon the economic development already underway.
My service to our community is about we and us collectively as residents here in District 6. And my job is to ensure, and I will fight for as much of that money that the state brought back to make sure that those resources are allocated here in District 6. And we can't do it alone because nothing that happens here happens in a vacuum. So the person that goes in the District 6 seat needs to be somebody who can work collaboratively. And as District 6 council member, I'm going to work with our state partners, our federal partners to get the work done.
The primary is July 19th. The county executive gets a major boost to her re-election campaign today. The American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, also known as AFSCME Council 67, backs Angela Alsobrooks for re-election. The Public Service Employee Union has more than 1,200 members in the county. The union says it is proud of the work Alsobrooks has done to support its members during the pandemic.
These are the men and women that I worked shoulder to shoulder with essentially during COVID-19, and to have me have their respect and trust means everything. People who are here every day. I think that if these folks don't support you and respect you, then nothing else happens.
The union didn't endorse Alsobrooks when she first ran for county executive back in 2018. A new poll commissioned by former Congresswoman Donna Edwards gives her a sizable lead over her main rival in the upcoming Democratic primary. Edwards is attempting a comeback in the 4th Congressional District. The survey by Lake Research Partners says 31% of likely primary voters favor Edwards, while only 18% are backing former Prince George's County State's Attorney Glenn Ivey. A new TV ad and radio ad, Ivey's campaign targets the 27% of voters who are still undecided.
In Congress, I'll tackle the root causes of crime and make our neighborhoods a safe place to live and to play. I've done it before, and I'll do it again. I'm Democrat Glenn Ivey.
According to the survey, a third candidate, former state delegate Angela Angel, is the choice for 4% of voters. Supporters of legislation to change Indian Head Highway to Piscataway Highway expected to see signs going up with the name change. After all, a bill was recently signed into law. But the Maryland Department of Transportation says the legislation only creates a designation, not a renaming. That means there won't be any sign changes or GPS modification. That interpretation was a surprise to the sponsor of the bill, Delegate Jay Walker, because lawmakers understood they were voting on a name change. MDOT says there will be 2 signs designating Route 210 Piscataway Highway that are expected to be up by October. And we'll be back with more news in a minute. Stay with us.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that moment, her life changes forever. The toll is great. The need is greater. The need to find comfort in the dark hours. The need to find hope in the cures. And that's why when others look away, we lean in. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change everything. But we need your help to make more moments of hope possible. Join our fight, save lives, because we are all stronger together.
Good evening. Welcome back. Montgomery County Police have arrested Mir Assadoula Nakvi and charged him with sexually assaulting a patient. Nakvi is a surgical assistant for an Olney dental practice. The female victim claims she was assaulted following a procedure on April 5th of 2021. Investigators believe there may be other victims. If you believe you've been assaulted by Nakvi, you are urged to call the Special Victims Division at 240-773-5400. You've heard it a million times. Buckle up for safety. It's required by law in Maryland, but on average, 110 motorists die in the state each year because they aren't wearing seatbelts. Next week, officials will launch a statewide seatbelt enforcement campaign. Failure to wear a seatbelt while driving can lead to heavy fines. As the mosquito season approaches, the city of Laurel will soon be spraying for the pesky bugs. The city will join the Maryland Department of Agriculture in its mosquito control program. Spraying in Laurel is set to begin on Sunday, May 29th in the evening. Now, for more information, visit the website that you can see right there on your screen. A beloved Centenarian receives recognition from Governor Larry Hogan ahead of her big day. Jessie Del Flormont is turning 100 years young on May 26. Her family and friends are planning a special celebration next week. Jessie is from Guyana, South America, but she's lived here in Prince George's County for 40 years. Her family says she loves her church, dancing, and sewing. Del Flormont has 6 children, 8 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren. And now your weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with lows in the 60s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with highs around 91 degrees. Saturday, sunny skies, highs near 95. Sunday, sunny with a chance of thunderstorms, low around 90. That's your CTV News Update. I'm Taylor Thomas. Good night.